America, let me brace you for something right now, okay? Today's First Take is a very, very, very unique episode of First Take. Because you see, right now, even though it's supposed to be the world against Stephen A., but it's all in fun. It's serious this morning because I've got not one, but two Benedict Arnolds in our studio in New York City. Legends in their own right. One is that damn doggy, Mad Dog Russo, who lives to betray New Yorkers at every turn, even though his career was made by New Yorkers doing sports talk radio for decades. Every chance he gets, he goes against New York. And that damn Michael Wilbon, the legend, the godfather, the man, the myth, the legend, my big brother, except for when it comes to the New York Knicks. You see that smile on his face? That's conspiring. That's him conspiring to bring down the New York Knicks. They are not for us. They are not for us. They are here on First Take to be against us, New York. But we ain't having it. Your boys in the house. I'll take them both on, damn it. They gotta go down. They cannot be allowed to act this way. It ain't happening on First Take, no matter how great they are. Let's go.
This is game 5. Whoever wins this has the momentum to close this thing out.
This team at home, when they get rolling, they are so tough to stop.
He knows this is desperation time. He's pleading with his team, fight, fight.
Spurs need a desperate, miraculous comeback or else they'll be playing for their lives. McCain lifting, launching, finding a three. Game number 5 to the Thunder. One win from a return to the finals.
Well, I guess if Mike Wilbon and Chris Russo are Benedict Arnold, that would make me Courtney Cronin and Stephen A. Smith General George Washington. I guess that's the vibe we're going for here on this Wednesday edition of First Take. Hello and welcome. We have so much to get into, gentlemen. What a game in Oklahoma City on Tuesday night, and that is where we start. The Thunder are one game away from making it back to the NBA Finals after a dominant Game 5 performance. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander leading the way, 32 points, including 16 from the free throw line, while OKC's bench rebounded from a subpar Game 4. Victor Wembanyama, on the other hand, struggled both ends of the floor and was held to 20 points on 4 of 15 shooting. After the game, SGA had this to say about taking a lead.
A series, especially against a good team, is like a chess match. Like you go back and forth with adjustments and game plans and switching to things and trying new things. And I think like they obviously punched us really good in Game 4. And we got better than the team that played Game 4 for Game 5.
How did you think Victor played, and can you do more to get him going?
We're going to need to. He's got to take more than 15 shots, even with the free throws, and yeah. He's going to have to score more than 20 points for sure.
So as I mentioned, tough night for Victor Wembanyama, shooting 4 of 15 from the floor. He missed all 5 of his three-point attempts. That was his worst shooting performance, guys, in 15 career playoff games. 12 of those 20, as his head coach said, came from the free throw line. But Stephen A. Smith, were you more encouraged by the way that Oklahoma City bounced back at home or disappointed by Wemby and the Spurs' performance?
Well, I was impressed with how OKC bounced back because, number one, despite the double teams and the focus that has been placed on them, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, the 2-time reigning league MVP, showed up last night, hit 32 points, had 9 assists. Obviously had 6 turnovers. That's something to be mindful of. But 32 and 9 is not bad for the league MVP going up against the San Antonio Spurs team that periodically, anyway, has had his number to some degree. We can't deny that. In terms of Stephon Castle and the defense that he's been able to place on him. But I was incredibly impressed with Jared McCain. To see J-Dub, Jalen Williams be down, to know that A.J. Mitchell is down, and for him to be inserted into the starting lineup and to come off the bench as a starter and perform the way that he did last night. It was just a sensational performance on his part when it really, really counted, particularly in the second half. So I give him credit where credit is due. 7 for 19 doesn't reek of that, but those were some big-time shots he hit, no doubt about it, including those 3 three-pointers. And, of course, Alex Caruso, you can't leave him out because of the 22 points he had off the bench, and Chet Holmgren showing up for a change and giving you 16 and 11. Isaiah Hartenstein can't be ignored, 12 points, 15 rebounds, 4 assists. The defense that he's playing on Wemby, putting a body on him, getting physical with him, all of those things are important. But Shai It starts with Shea, and Shea answered the call. And if you got two guys that you're not accustomed to getting a lot of offense from, that gives you that, in McCain and Caruso, that goes a long way. You're on your home court. The role players are going to play better at home than they do on the road. We understand that. But they needed to in this game because I believed that if the Oklahoma City Thunder had lost this game, they're losing Game 6 back in San Antonio and they're losing this series. I think they knew it as well. They recognized the challenge. They responded to it. They handled their business. And as a worst-case scenario, forced a Game 7, even though it's not beyond the realm of comprehension that they could go to San Antonio and win this in 6.
Yeah, Jared McCain coming off the bench, as Stephen A. mentioned, first playoff start of his career for this OKC team, Wilbon. You more impressed with the way that they bounced back or how Wemby and the Spurs handled last night?
No, I'm more impressed with the way they bounced back. And you thought that it wouldn't have to be an efficient performance by SGA, and it wasn't offensively. But they needed that from him. He has to lead the way in that. Not Chet, not anybody off the bench, not even JW if he was healthy. I will say this, and we need to credit the defense for wearing Wemby down. There's a way that people are phrasing this, and the narrative goes, is he tired? Not just tired. Playoff basketball is a grind in a way that, yes, you get beat up. You get ground down over a 6 or 7 game series. And one reason why I don't believe San Antonio can win it all this year, you don't go from lottery to knowing what that's about, knowing how to deal with it, knowing how to rest, knowing how to rebound, knowing how to just shrug it off, knowing how to play through it. That takes accumulated knowledge. And this Spurs group, Courtney, doesn't have that. So that's a real thing. But I prefer to look at OKC bouncing back, putting that pressure on San Antonio, and now they have to win a game at home. Stephen A., I agree with him. Not beyond the realm that they could go on the road and win it, but I think this is going 7.
I'll go the other way here because I know exactly what you're saying about OKC, and I'm shocked that JW is not playing these games. I mean, geez.
Dog, I don't think he can.
Oh, I mean, he played.
It's a hamstring, doggy.
Yeah, I think he's
Larry Bird playing a game.
I know, but
Kevin McHale playing a game.
But not hammies. They played with ankles, Isaiah.
Soft tissue
they
might be a
did,
little
but
different.
this is a lot.
McHale played with a broken foot. He played a whole postseason
this
series.
This appears to be pretty bad.
Oh, boy, oh, boy.
I don't think we're going to see him again.
I mean, you might be right.
He did come back and play, and then he had to go out again.
Yeah. Again, we can go through that all we want. I will say a couple of things. I'm going to go old school on that. I'll say a couple of things. I'll take it from a Spurs perspective. They were frazzled last night. They were not crisp. Running up and down, turnovers, poor, quick shots, got off to a bad start offensively. Then they had a lead, and they didn't let it settle in. So they did not. They played, as you said, like a little bit of like the stage was too big, a little inexperienced. That's the first thing I'd say about the Spurs. Second thing is maybe now we can stop, and I love him. He's gonna be great, but maybe we can stop with the Kareem comparisons here with Wembanyama. Okay, he's had 2 or 3 games in this series now, though he has not been a factor. He's had 2 or 3 games where he has not been a factor. He played poorly last night. Kareem in his first year averaged 37 and 17 rebounds against the Knicks when they lost in 5 games. So maybe we can at least sit there and say this is not the greatest center in the history of the NBA. And one last thing. He's got to talk to the media after the game.
Did he not talk last night?
He did not talk. Popovich, you're his mentor. You got to talk to the media. He's the biggest star on the team. He's the biggest star in the league. He played terribly. You can't blow up the media. That is, and this is not 2 guys from San Antonio on a day in Sacramento. You got a lot of national media there, NBC's there, and he blows them off. That's not the way he handles it.
Well, that's where I wanted to lead you into next. Stephen A., do you have an issue with that?
Well, what I wanted to say to Doggy is that if you're going to say he should talk to the media, the role model for him ain't Greg Popovich. Let's get that out the way. Greg Popovich ain't one that's going to encourage this man, to talk to him. Greg Popovich he could give less than a damn about the media. So let's get that out the way, okay? If that's the role model that he's leaning on to learn how to do things right, Greg Popovich does most things right. We revere this man. He's one of the great, great coaches and the NBA figures in history.